Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they never dared to clearly say what they truly want. They carry countless dreams in their hearts, yet let them drift silently. They wait for a sudden opportunity, for someone insightful enough to recognize their worth, or for an external push that might change their destiny. But waiting is like standing before an endless ocean without ever reaching down to scoop the water. The sea is vast and abundant, but the thirsty still remain thirsty because they never act. We were taught from childhood that patience is a virtue, that what is meant to be will be, that if you are worthy, life will deliver it to you. Those beliefs can feel humble and righteous, but in reality, they often chain us. Patience cannot replace action, vague faith cannot replace a clear request, and silent hope never turns into tangible results. Success doesn't begin with waiting, it begins with courage. The courage to speak up and declare, "This is what I want." Asking is not begging, nor is it demanding. Asking with clarity and sincerity is an affirmation of self-worth. It is like sending out a powerful signal to the universe, directing it where to move. When you remain silent, you let ambiguity lead. When you speak with certainty, you give yourself the chance to receive a response. How many times have you wished someone could read your mind only to be disappointed when they couldn't? How many times have you longed for an opportunity, yet never took a step toward knocking on the door? Life doesn't operate on magical intuition, it operates on clarity. And clarity only arrives when you are brave enough to articulate what you truly desire. Some believe, if I am worthy, others will naturally see it. But the truth is, the world is too busy to guess what you crave. Doors don't open just because you stand there. They open when you walk up and knock. Opportunities don't chase you simply because you quietly hope they appear when you send out a clear signal. The root of the problem is not a lack of talent, potential, or opportunity. It is the absence of a clear request to life. You may be gifted, hardworking, and dedicated, but if you keep everything in silence, you will still be overlooked. Not because life ignores you, but because you never told it where to lead you. Imagine walking into a crowded restaurant, sitting down, and never ordering. You simply hope the waiter understands you're hungry and magically brings out your favorite dish. What are the chances of that happening? Life works the same way. If you don't speak clearly, it has no direction to follow. If your wishes remain vague, your results will be equally vague. The beginning of all success is not talent or luck. It is the courage to ask. To ask boldly, clearly, and responsibly. When you make a specific request, you are not only guiding the world, but also guiding yourself. You see the goal more vividly, focus your energy in the right direction, and align thought with action. The root of the issue has never been that we are unworthy. The root is that we never make our desires clear to the world, and we don't believe we have the right to ask. The journey of transformation doesn't begin somewhere far away. It begins the moment you open your mouth and dare to request what you long for. That is the first step, and also the most important one, for every door to begin turning in your favor. To achieve anything in life, you must know exactly what you are seeking. Vague desires only lead to vague results. You can't walk into a restaurant, shrug at the waiter, and expect them to serve the exact dish you're imagining. Life works the same way. If you are not clear, it doesn't know what to give you. Too many people live their entire lives with only general wishes. I want success. I want happiness. I want more money. These sound reasonable, but they are not goals, they are wishes. A true goal has details, numbers, deadlines, and a concrete shape. You can picture it in your mind, touch it with your imagination, and feel it with your emotions. Only then does it have the power to pull you forward. Clarity is power. It is the roadmap that keeps you from wandering aimlessly. When you describe your desire in specific terms, you're sending signals to your mind, your actions, and even your subconscious. And when all your inner energy is aligned toward the same target, you create momentum. On the other hand, if you remain vague, you will only keep spinning in chaos. Look at Howard Schultz, the man who turned Starbucks into a global phenomenon. He didn't just vaguely dream of selling coffee. He wanted to recreate the romantic European cafe experience in America. From the aroma of espresso, the sense of community, the store design, down to the very smell you encounter when walking in. His vision was so detailed that when he pitched to investors, trained employees, or expanded to new locations, everyone knew exactly what they were building. That clarity became the compass that transformed an idea into an empire. So the question for you is, what do you truly want? Not what sounds good, not what others expect of you, but what you genuinely crave. Not, I want to be richer, but I want to earn $100,000 a year within the next 3 years. Not, I want to be healthier, but I want to run 10 kilometers in under 60 minutes by December. Not, I want to be happy, but I want to spend every weekend with my family, free from work obligations. Goals like these are clear enough to direct your life. Clarity is also a test of sincerity. If you cannot describe exactly what you want, perhaps you are not yet serious about it. But once you write it down and give it form through words, you force yourself to face it and take responsibility. That is when a desire becomes a plan. Many fear that setting specific goals will limit them. In truth, the opposite is true. Defining your goals doesn't trap you, it liberates you. You know what to do, what to choose, and what to say no to. You stop wasting energy on distractions that don't matter. Clarity is the sharpest weapon against wasted time and energy. Write your goals as if you were handing blueprints to an architect. If a stranger can read them and visualize clearly what you want, then you're specific enough. Describe them with words, with numbers, with emotions. The more detailed, the easier it is for opportunities to find you. Remember, if you don't define your path, life will put you on a random one. You'll work hard but not know where you're going. You'll stay busy without progress. You'll drain your energy without reaching fulfillment. All because you never stop to answer with certainty, what do I truly want? This is the first step and also the decisive one. Once you gain clarity, what you desire will start to be drawn toward you. Opportunities, people, resources all begin to align around a defined goal. Clarity transforms dreams into direction, hope into strategy, and life from a cycle of uncertainty into a purposeful journey. You can begin today. Sit down and write out what you want in precise detail. When you do, you'll see the difference. Because clarity is not just the first step, it is the foundation that makes every step after it meaningful. Once you know what you truly want, the next step is daring to ask. Not asking timidly, not hinting vaguely, but asking boldly, clearly, and with confidence. This is where most people stop. They have dreams, ideas, even detailed plans. Yet when the moment comes to voice a specific request, they shrink back. They fear rejection, fear judgment, fear being seen as greedy or arrogant. So instead, they drop subtle hints, wait for others to guess, or hope someone will be perceptive enough to understand. But the truth is, no one can read your mind. The world responds to what you say out loud, not to what you keep hidden inside. Remember, asking is the spark that ignites the entire process. You can be the most talented, hardworking, and deserving person in the room, but if you never speak up, doors remain closed. Asking is not weakness, it is initiative. It is a declaration to the world. I have thought, I have prepared, and this is what I'm moving toward. When you speak with conviction, you transfer your belief into others. People can feel the strength in your words, and that is what makes them listen, consider, and stand with you. Take the story of Maya, a young entrepreneur with a powerful vision. She dreamed of building a platform to connect underprivileged teenagers with online educational resources. She worked tirelessly to perfect her plan. But when it came time to pitch, she hesitated. She spoke vaguely, hinted instead of stating, and left meetings with nothing more than polite nods. She reassured herself, they'll understand what I mean. But they didn't, because people only respond to what is directly communicated. Everything shifted when Maya changed her approach. She practiced clarity, walked into the room, and declared, I'm building a platform to help 1 million teenagers access quality education by 2028. I need $100,000 in seed funding and 3 strategic partners to begin. Here is what I've accomplished, and here is what I'm offering. That clarity changed the game. Meetings multiplied, support flowed in, and her dream began turning real. Asking boldly is not arrogance. It is standing firm in your certainty. It is not an imposition. It is a commitment. When you voice your request with steady, confident tone, not boastful, not desperate. You show that you've prepared, thought deeply, and believe in the possibility. People don't just hear your words, they feel your grounded energy. And what if you're rejected? Don't treat it as failure. It's simply feedback. Maybe your pitch needs refining, maybe the timing is off, or maybe you're knocking on the wrong door. Adjust, try again, and ask once more with a better approach. The only true failure is silence. Silence is the enemy of progress. Also, don't waste energy asking from the wrong people. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone has the resources or the desire to help you. Seek the right people, the right rooms. When you find those who share your frequency, your clarity becomes a beacon, drawing them in and unlocking the doors you need. And broaden your definition of asking. It isn't just about money or business opportunities. It's about asking for advice, mentorship, feedback, connections. Those who grow the fastest are the ones who ask the most. They don't sit and wait. They don't pretend to know it all. They raise their hands, they reach out, and that's why they learn quicker and move farther. So, return to the goals you clarified in the previous step. Write down, who do you need to ask, what do you need, and what will make the greatest difference for you right now. Then don't let it stay on paper. Make the call, send the email, knock on the door, speak with conviction. Because life doesn't respond to ambiguity. It shifts only when you ask clearly, directly, and with determination. This is the natural extension of clarity. When you know what you want and dare to say it out loud, you don't just open new opportunities, you unlock a stronger version of yourself. A version that is no longer afraid, but bold enough to ask life for what you truly deserve. Asking is the beginning, but asking alone is not enough. You may speak with clarity, you may affirm with confidence, but if you are not truly ready to receive, opportunities will slip away. Life does not give us what we merely want. It gives us what we are prepared to carry. That is why preparation is not optional, it is the foundation. Imagine asking for a leadership role without ever practicing communication, learning how to manage people, or mastering your own emotions. Even if the door opens, you won't walk through it with strength. Or consider desiring a fulfilling relationship while still carrying old wounds, selfish habits, or impatience. When love arrives, you might be the very reason it falls apart. Not because life denied you, but because you weren't ready to receive. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a powerful example of this principle. Long before he became a Hollywood legend, he prepared relentlessly. As a young man, he didn't just build muscle, he studied English, learned acting, and practiced being in front of a camera. He understood that to succeed in America, he needed more than physical strength. He needed communication, vision, and iron discipline. By the time opportunity came, he was ready to seize it without hesitation. He didn't wait for the right moment to start training. He prepared as if that moment was already scheduled. Preparation is not only about skills, it's about building inner strength. If you desire wealth, learn to manage money while you only have a little. If you crave a bigger career, practice discipline and responsibility in the smallest tasks. If you want to be trusted in high positions, act with honesty and integrity even when no one is watching. The world only gives you more when you've proven you can handle what you already have. The gap between asking and receiving is filled with quiet days of preparation. It's in the early mornings when you learn new skills, the late nights spent refining details, the unseen hours of discipline when no one is watching. These invisible moments are what allow you to stand firm when opportunity finally arrives. Skip preparation, and you risk losing the very thing you prayed for. Ask yourself honestly, if tomorrow life gave you the very thing you've been longing for, are you ready to hold it? Are you mature enough to manage it, strong enough to sustain it, disciplined enough to grow it? If the answer is no, then your task today is not waiting, it's preparing. Prepare as if that moment is inevitable. Only the date is unknown. Preparation is also the root of true confidence. When you've trained, accumulated experience, and endured silent hours of hard work, you step into opportunities with a natural certainty. Others can feel it. Your belief becomes their belief. People trust you not because of your words, but because of the quiet strength you built long before. Don't be among those who dream big, but prepare small. The world is full of unfulfilled dreams, not because opportunities never came, but because people weren't ready. Opportunity doesn't knock and wait while you rehearse. It comes suddenly, and when it does, you are either ready or you are left behind. So begin today. Build skills, shape habits, raise your standards, care for your health, heal your heart. Live as if life has already scheduled your defining moment. When it comes, you won't need extra time. You'll simply step forward and take it. That is the power of preparation, turning what you want from a distant vision into reality within reach. Faith is the fuel of every journey, but not cautious faith, filled with doubt and calculation, faith pure and complete, like that of a child. Children dream without ever asking, is this realistic? They build castles in the sky and believe with all their hearts that they can touch them. The power of this kind of faith lies in its purity. No fear, no limits, no self-imposed restrictions, and only such innocent belief is strong enough to move mountains. Yet faith alone is not enough. Faith without a plan is nothing more than illusion. You may believe you'll build a house, but without blueprints, without gathering materials, without taking action step by step, that belief remains a dream. This is where the second half comes in, the plan of an adult. Adults can turn the vague into the concrete. A plan is the structure that anchors faith to reality, giving a dream, a path, and a sequence of steps. Believe like a child so your vision has no limits, but plan like an adult so that vision can take form. Walt Disney is perhaps the clearest proof of this balance. When the world saw animation as nothing more than clumsy drawings entertainment for children easily forgotten, he believed in the magic of storytelling. He believed in castles, in legendary characters, in theme parks that could transport people into another world. That faith brought him ridicule, predictions of failure, endless resistance. But Disney didn't just dream, he planned meticulously. He drew blueprints, studied crowd movement, prepared budgets, built financial models. The fusion of limitless faith and concrete planning gave birth to Disneyland, a collective dream brought to life. The problem for most people is they live only in one extreme. Some believe endlessly but never act. They dream day and night, speak of brilliant visions, but never map out steps. So their dreams remain promises that never materialize. Others are the opposite, too practical. They plan every detail, calculate every number, yet deep down they don't truly believe. They move forward with a heart full of doubt and end up circling in frustration. The secret lies in balance. Dream boldly like a child, but act responsibly like an adult. Childlike faith gives you the strength not to give up. When rejection comes, when failure knocks, it's that innocent belief that keeps you going, whispering, there is still a way, there is still hope. Meanwhile, adult planning provides the structure to keep you on track. It helps you measure, adjust, and ensure you're moving closer to the goal rather than just spinning in circles. A dream without a plan is a fantasy. A plan without faith is a lifeless shell. But together they create rare power, both soaring and grounded. Start by allowing yourself to dream big. Ask childlike questions. If there were no limits, what would I truly want? Don't let fear shrink your vision. Then immediately shift into the mindset of an adult. Write down the concrete steps, what you need to learn, who you need to meet, what resources you must gather, and the deadlines to complete them. That is the bridge between imagination and reality. You don't need to know every detail from the start. What matters is that you begin believing, acting, adjusting along the way. Hold on to faith as your treasure. It will keep you standing when storms come. Use planning as your compass. It will keep you from losing direction. When these two forces combine, you won't just dream of one day. You'll start taking steps that turn one day into today. Imagine standing before a vast ocean, waves crashing on the shore, water stretching beyond sight. And yet, some people come carrying only a small spoon. They dip it into the sea, walk away, and then complain they never have enough. This is how many approach life, not because the ocean is empty, but because they arrive with containers too small. They ask for little, expect little, prepare little, and so they receive little. The truth is, the universe is never scarce. Abundance, opportunity, love, success, they are always present. Unlimited, impartial, not reserved for a lucky few. The problem is never in the supply. It lies in our capacity to receive. If you only bring a spoon, you cannot catch the rain. If you only dare to think small, you will never reach greatness. We've been taught to stay in our place, to be realistic, to not dream too big or you'll be disappointed. These lessons sound safe, but they plant a narrow frame in our minds. They make you settle for a small plot when the whole field is open. They keep you sitting at the edge of the ocean with a spoon when a bucket is waiting for you to carry. Maria, a devoted teacher in a poor neighborhood, once lived that way. For years, she only asked for scraps, a few more books, a few more supplies, a new chalkboard. But inside, she held a bigger dream, a real school, spacious and complete, that could transform the lives of hundreds of children. She was afraid that dream was too big, that she wasn't capable, that people would laugh, until one day she realized the ocean was still there. The problem was that she had been coming with a spoon instead of a bucket. Maria began writing down her vision of the school. She went to local leaders, knocked on the doors of foundations, reached out to sponsors. She stopped asking for fragments and declared the full dream, and life responded. Years later, the school opened, standing as living proof that when you bring a bigger bucket, you receive more than you imagined. Thinking big is not greed, it is responsibility. When you expand your vision, you don't just change your own life, you open opportunities to uplift many others. A bigger goal demands that you grow into a bigger version of yourself. It forces you to abandon small thinking, elevate your habits, raise your standards, and step into a higher level of existence. Take a closer look at your life at work, in relationships, in finances, in health. Where are you still carrying a spoon? You ask for just enough salary to survive instead of demanding the value your skills deserve. You hope for a safe love instead of daring to ask for a deep, fulfilling relationship. You set a goal to exercise occasionally instead of building a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. These spoons are not wrong, but they keep you living in lack while the ocean remains full. It's time to trade the spoon for a bucket. Think bigger, ask bigger, prepare bigger. Don't limit yourself for fear of disappointment. Temporary disappointment is not as dangerous as a lifetime of small dreams. A grand vision will stretch your mind, force you to learn more, to be more patient, more persistent. It will challenge you, but it will also lift you to new heights. Life is not short of great rewards. The question is not, is there enough for me? The question is, what am I bringing to receive? If you show up with a spoon, you will leave with a little. If you bring a bucket, you will leave overflowing. And if you dare to bring a reservoir, life will not hesitate to fill it. Don't limit your ambition. Don't ask merely to survive. Ask to live fully, to contribute, to transform. Because when you expand your capacity to receive, life will always have enough to fill it. You can have a clear vision. You can ask boldly. You can prepare thoroughly. And you can believe wholeheartedly. But it will all remain an idea if you don't act daily. Consistent repetition is the bridge between dreams and results. The world does not reward those who only dream. It rewards those who persist day after day despite difficulties, despite moods, despite the absence of encouragement. Look at anyone who has achieved greatness, and you will see the same truth. They did not rise in a single burst of brilliance, but through patient accumulation of small steps. Benjamin Franklin did not become one of history's greatest minds simply because he was born intelligent. He created a personal system of 13 virtues, tracked his progress every day, and adjusted his behavior constantly. He didn't chase instant perfection, he pursued steady improvement, and that steady improvement, compounded over years, shaped him into a scientist, a diplomat, a statesman of remarkable influence. Daily action has power because it creates momentum. A small stone rolling downhill can trigger an avalanche. Every small step adds to the energy. Write 1 page a day, and in a year you have a book. Call 1 new client a day, and in a year you have 365 opportunities. Train for 15 minutes a day, and in a year your body transforms beyond recognition. The secret is not in bursts of intensity, but in consistency. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a week, but underestimate what they can achieve in a year of steady action. They sprint for a few days, burn out, and give up. They let inspiration dictate action, forgetting that inspiration is fragile. The difference lies in discipline. Inspiration gets you started, discipline keeps you going. The successful don't wait for inspiration to knock. They act, whether it shows up or not. Yes, there will be days you're tired, days you're discouraged, days you feel stuck, but it is precisely on those days that taking even one small step is the strongest proof of commitment. Missing one day is human. Missing two in a row is the beginning of a bad habit. Discipline is refusing to let interruptions last. And remember, there is a difference between action and busyness. You can spin like a top all day, but if you're not moving closer to your goal, it's just meaningless motion. Daily action must be aligned with your purpose, producing progress even if small. That is meaningful action, not wasted energy. Build systems to support your discipline. Keep your goals visible, set clear schedules, eliminate distractions, and design an environment that forces the right choices. Most importantly, celebrate small wins. The joy of seeing yourself advance even by one step fuels the energy to keep going. Ultimately, daily action doesn't just change results, it changes you. Every day you act, you move closer to your goal. But more importantly, you are becoming the person capable of holding that goal. Each habit, each discipline, each small step quietly reshapes your character. And once that transformation takes place, success stops being a distant possibility, it becomes inevitable. So don't wait for the perfect day. Don't search for a dramatic push. Start with a small step today and repeat it tomorrow. While others wait, you'll already be moving. While others make excuses, you'll be creating results. Power does not lie in what you do, once it lies in what you repeat without stopping. And it is that repetition that carries you from dream to reality. You may have asked boldly, prepared diligently, believed wholeheartedly, and acted consistently every day. Yet the journey does not end there. Some of the things you desire will arrive later than expected. Some doors only open after many seasons of waiting. The gap between effort and result is where character is tested. In that gap, you can grow bitter, impatient, and give up, or you can choose humility, gratitude, and readiness. Your attitude while waiting determines how you will walk through the door once it opens. Humility does not mean lowering your value. It is the awareness that no matter how far you've come, you are still a student in life's vast classroom. Humility keeps you open, willing to learn from anyone, willing to accept feedback, willing to correct mistakes. The arrogant believe they have already arrived, and so they stop growing. The humble know there is always more ahead, and so they keep maturing. Gratitude is what keeps the heart from hardening in the waiting season. When you focus on what you already have instead of what is missing, you realize the journey has given you more than you thought. You are grateful for being farther than yesterday, grateful for the lessons failure has taught you, grateful even for detours that seemed meaningless but led you exactly where you needed to be. Gratitude creates positive energy that attracts more opportunities, more good people, more favorable conditions to carry you forward. And above all, you must remain ready. Many miss opportunities, not because the opportunities never came, but because when they did, they were no longer prepared, no longer disciplined, no longer sharp. They allowed waiting to turn them passive. The truth is, life does not announce itself. It doesn't say, next month, I'll give you what you've been waiting for. It shows up suddenly, and that moment only rewards those already prepared. When you maintain silent discipline, when you keep yourself sharp, even when no one is watching, you make yourself ready. And when opportunity knocks, you don't panic, you step forward as though you've been rehearsing your whole life. Abraham Lincoln is a powerful example. He failed in business, failed in elections, failed time and again. He had every reason to grow bitter, to abandon his dream, to blame circumstances. But he didn't. He stayed humble, learning from each mistake. He remained grateful, focusing on what remained instead of resenting what was lost. And most importantly, he stayed ready. When the greatest opportunity of his life, the presidency, finally came, he stepped into it not only with skills, but with a soul forged in hardship. His silent preparation and steadfast attitude in waiting made him one of history's greatest leaders. This is a reminder to all of us. True success is not just achieving a goal, but becoming the kind of person worthy of holding it. If you gain everything you want but lose humility, you will soon lose it all. If you achieve without gratitude, success will feel empty. And if you let yourself slip into passivity, you will not be ready when life offers you its chance. So keep walking with humility, keep your heart grounded in gratitude, and prepare each day as if tomorrow were the decisive moment. Because one day, the opportunity you've been waiting for will arrive, perhaps suddenly, perhaps later than you planned, but it will come. And when it does, you won't just enter. You will enter with steadiness, with peace, and with the character to turn success into legacy.